All right, now we cross over to Nyeri, where Kanini Kega, Member of Parliament for Kenyan, is joining us now on phone. Kanini, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We saw you in one of the stories this evening in Chaka, I believe, which is part of your constituency, leading a crackdown on illicit alcohol or alcoholic beverages in the area. Tell me, to you, what is second-generation alcohol?
John, this is actually day 2 of the activities that we have been undertaking in our constituency, and of course, is to get rid of the so-called second-generation alcohol. And everybody knows, they know those kind of alcohol, which is very, very cheap. And of course, for me, I don't even want to call it alcohol. It's actually poison. And whenever you visit any shop, they will tell you this is the good alcohol, this is the cheap alcohol, which of course is the second generation, and they know them.
Yes, but how are you defining this? Because you're leading the fight alongside other leaders. How do you define it scientifically, that this is second generation alcohol, this is not, apart from price? If a person makes a competitive argument for his product with price, does that mean that his alcohol is illegal? What is second generation alcohol?
The most interesting thing is that the known brands, that's the first generation, and they are known by the public. The public, you pick it. Like yesterday, we had a very interesting case whereby children are the ones who are actually leading us to where they sell the second generation alcohol. So it is even known by the kids.
Mr. Kanini, you're not answering my question. What to you is second generation alcohol? You held a bottle of alcohol this afternoon in your hand and said, oh, this one is bad, and you proceeded to demonize it. How are you defining it other than getting what the public perception is? Because it has to be scientific if you're going to do this legally.
Yeah, if you saw, for example, the bottle that I was holding and opening it, when you open an ordinary bottle, there is a sound that it makes. That bottle do not make that sound. Because ordinarily, if you open a bottle, there is that sound, that she, and it is not there. So automatically, that one tells you that is not the right thing. It's not the right product. So
is that how the KEBS officers that have been conducting the exercise with you have been defining what is second generation alcohol?
No. For them, of course, they do the lab tests. But for us, and I'm telling you, it's very obvious to everyone. For those who sell, for those who consume, and even for even kids, they actually know which one is genuine and which is not genuine.
All right, Mr. Kanini, what problems are we trying to resolve here with respect to this crackdown? Are we trying to solve the problem of alcoholism or illicit alcohol?
I think it's both, because the kind of what we are calling alcohol, the second generation, is not alcohol. It's actually a concoction that is actually killing our people, and it is evident everywhere. You go to any village, you will see either young men who are zombies or very fresh graves, because we are burying our young people every day. And the most interesting thing is that when we went yesterday, when we went round, the partakers of those poison or alcohol are the ones who are telling us, you have done something that is very right. At least you are removing us from these shackles, because they don't even understand why they are even taking that brew. So they were telling us, you are helping us get out of this major problem. But having said that, ordinarily, the normal beer is usually taken in the evening or in the afternoon. But if you, in this case of the illicit brews or the second generation, you'll find the partakers taking that drink from morning up to evening and throughout the night. And it begs the question, is it really alcohol, or is it something that is addictive?
Is that a function, Mr. Kega, is that a function of the alcohol itself, whether it's illicit or not, or deeper problems and deeper issues that perhaps your constituents and people across Central Region and the country indeed are facing? What are you trying to do to address the deeper issues behind drinking? Because it's not just the alcohol, of course, there have to be other issues.
Of course, there is the short term and the long term. What, first of all, we are addressing is the short term. This is a disaster in waiting. We have seen our young men and women dying from consumption of these illicit brews. So, first of all, we address that. Then the long-term solution, of course, will be people who still want to have a drink. How do we address those issues? Do we need to lower taxes so that at least the contemporary beer is affordable to the other people? Secondly, we need to come up with legislation to regulate the consumption in terms of hours and make sure that it is properly enforced. So what we are first of all doing is the stopgap measures to at least address this very, very urgent situation.
All right, Mr. Kega, I venture to tell you that the Alcoholics Control Bill that was passed in Parliament has those regulations. The Mutudo laws have regulations on what time to drink. There have been statistics that were published by NACADA since 2010 telling in detail how bad the problem is in the central region. This has been happening for over 5 years. Why the rush now? Why haven't we heard the voices of leaders as robustly as we're hearing them now?
This is not just an issue about Mount Kenya region. It is an issue countrywide. But of course, it's more entrenched in central Kenya region. And that is the reason we say, of course, once at the time we had the new constitution, of course, there was a problem in that those people who are giving the licenses are the county government. Those people who are enforcing the laws is the national government. And of course, there was that lacuna. There is a gap. If you ask the county government, they say that they have licensed for particular people whom they believe that are selling genuine alcohol. If you now ask the law enforcers, they say that they don't know which bars, they don't know which drinks are actually allowed. So there is that kind of a lacuna, which of course I think it has to be addressed through legislation.
All right, we could go on, but I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us, Kanini Kega, Member of Parliament for Kieni constituency.